Some stories in human history are neither entirely myth nor entirely truth. They live somewhere in between, born from fear, shaped by imagination, and carried across centuries through whispers in the dark. The legend of the werewolf, a human transforming into a wolf, is one such tale. A story with no clear beginning, no single origin, and no final ending. Tonight we explore the real history behind the werewolf, the truth, the misconceptions, and the very real fears that shape the legend. This is the hidden history of werewolves. Roman historians wrote of strange rituals in Arcadia, where a chosen man would join a secret ceremony and live as a wolf for 9 years. These stories were less about magic and more about ancient people trying to understand nature. To them, the wolf was both a symbol of danger and spiritual power. The line between man and animal was thinner than we can imagine today. 3. Norse berserkers, wolf warriors. In the icy north, Viking folklore told of the Ulfhednar, warriors who wore wolf pelts and believed they were possessed by the spirit of the wolf. These fighters roared in battle, moved in packs, and fought with such ferocity that enemies believed they were not human at all. Many historians believe these soldiers inspired some of the first European werewolf stories. Now we turn to medieval Europe, a world covered in thick forests and shadowed superstitions. At this time, wolves were everywhere. They killed livestock, spread disease, and sometimes attacked humans. To medieval villagers, the forest was a place of darkness, and wolves were seen as servants of evil. It was easy, far too easy, to imagine a person transforming into a wolf under the cover of night. And from this fear, hundreds of new werewolf legends were born. Peter Stube, Germany, 1589. One of the darkest chapters in werewolf history took place in 1589 in Germany. Peter Stube, a simple farmer, was accused of the unthinkable: black magic, murder, and transforming into a wolf to attack villagers. Authorities claimed to have found a magical belt that allowed him to change shape. Stube was tortured until he confessed to crimes he almost certainly did not commit. He was executed brutally, not because he was a werewolf, but because fear made people desperate for someone to blame. This execution sparked a wave of panic across Europe. Werewolf hysteria. France. In 16th century France, werewolf accusations spread like wildfire. Hundreds of people, many mentally ill, disabled, or simply different, were accused of being werewolves. Special courts were formed, trials took place, executions were carried out. This wasn't mythology anymore. This was mass hysteria. Fear had turned ordinary people into monsters in the eyes of society. 1. Clinical lycanthropy. There is a rare psychological disorder known as clinical lycanthropy, where a person truly believes they are transforming into a wolf. Their posture changes, their behavior changes, and they grow convinced that the beast inside them is real. 2. Rabies. Rabies, a deadly viral disease, causes aggression, biting, and fear of water. Symptoms that medieval people could not explain. A rabies-infected person might have easily been mistaken for a werewolf in a time without medical knowledge. 3. Ergot poisoning. In the Middle Ages, spoiled bread often contained a fungus called ergot. Eating it caused violent hallucinations. Villagers reported seeing wolves, shadows, monsters, and claimed people were transforming. Today, scientists believe many werewolf sightings were simply hallucinations caused by poisoned food. The modern image of the werewolf transforming under the full moon, gaining supernatural powers and losing control, comes mostly from Hollywood. The 1941 film The Wolf Man defined the werewolf for modern audiences. Since then, werewolves have appeared in American Werewolf in London, Underworld, Twilight, and countless shows, novels, games, and comics. The legend has evolved from fear and superstition to one of fantasy's most iconic creatures. The werewolf is more than a monster story. It is a reflection of human fear, fear of the wild, fear of disease, fear of the unknown, and fear of the beast within. Sometimes the legend was myth, sometimes misunderstanding, and sometimes a tragic result of panic. Like all ancient tales, the werewolf carries a forgotten history hidden beneath centuries of fear and storytelling. I am Ancient Arabia Lore, and we will meet again. In the next mystery, the next legend, the next forgotten story,